there's gain on that mic. It's 7:45. It's 7:45. Do you know where your bitcoins are at? Is everybody ready to load the wagon on bitcoins at this price? Bitcoins, come get your bitcoins. $20,000 a coin. Now let me see. Did you mine that? I just bought a digital pickaxe. That's right, people. Digital pickaxe. They make them. Trust and believe. They make them. How's everything out there? And market volatility wasteland. Did you step in front of a train lately? Then you're going to need some forex ointment. Don't forget to go to our web store and buy the forex ointment. This stuff, I don't care how much money you've won or lost, this stuff will cure what ails you. Are you listening to? Yeah, that's my dysfunctional improv band that I play with on the weekends. So we have a treasure trove of improv experimental circus music. We're working on a soundtrack for a slasher movie, and a lot of these tracks you're hearing are based on decapitations. That's why this is adult content here. If you want us to do any soundtracks for your upcoming horror flick, call me. Let me know. Email me. And we'll hook up and do some slasher movies. These soundtracks have been specially formulated to disturb people. So, if you hear something out of key, it's intentional. It's kind of like when they don't cut your head off clean, it's like one of those bad cuts. Bad cut. Stuff goes terribly wrong. Okay, you know how that goes. Stuff goes terribly wrong sometimes. Technical damage on the charts for a lot of people lately. Technical damage on my chart. I got some severe technical damage there, son. I think it blew up my chart. Chart's not right. It's just not right anymore. None of my moving averages can catch up with what's been going on out there. So since I subscribed to No Nonsense Forex, I've been having a hard time getting a good trade on because I'm just waiting for that. Wait for my algorithms to catch up to the market. Market's fucking nuts. So that's right, people. Wait for your indicators to catch up. Now, if you're using a trend line, what you want to do here is, it's pro tip number 58.5. 0.5. It's kind of like the government ordinances. This would be ordinance 69.528, like right out of Brazil, the movie Brazil. This is a 618 entry down here. What you're going to want to do here is get out your Fibonacci tool. Everybody's aware of this one, right? Right from Da Vinci Code. Come over here. Grab your Fibonacci tool. It's right here somewhere. I think I might have deleted it. Got pissed off. Lost too much money trying to use it. Next thing you know, all pissed off. So we're going to use the Tony Plummer method, which allows us to drop more tickets than Jesus. So Tony Plummer was interviewed by Alexander Elder, and I bought the tape on beta tape. I did do that. I bought also the pamphlet that came along for $50. I got the pamphlet. This is from Trader's Library. I don't know if it still exists, but like I said, I put about 10 grand into books, you know. And the Tony Plummer method is to say, I would say, what I think he was aiming at. At least I adopted this to my ridiculous amount of ticket entry formula. So in this situation, we're going to enter on the 0, the 100%. Our first ticket drop is going to be 100%. Next one's going to be 61.8. That's just the starter kit Fibonacci. This is deeper. Okay, this is beyond Robinacci. This is Tony Plummer. I only say that because I got like $100 into this course I took, I suppose, the pamphlet. But I agree with him. I agree these markets are expansive. So if you take your 100, and this is you're buying underneath the floor in the auction theory. So your first ticket is going to be, I'm going to make this really explicit. I got to get the colors right first. So I'm going to make this white, and I'm going to make it big and white because I got to find my calibration tool. This is the entry window. Your first ticket on the full Fibonacci expansion, so you can make 4 times your money, is you're going to buy the first fib handle. Okay. This is your lost leader ticket, which will be worth a tidy, if you buy it all the way, so you have to pick a window. And this is going to be your master stop down here at 0. So you get a master stop here. And you're going to buy everything from here down. Now this is a sweet 3K. You're not making your 4. You're not making your 4. Right? You're not making that. But what if you scooch this up to the last known? Of course, you know, here's where I would open up this thing and rearrange your levels. Or what you're going to do is this. And this will be, it is to go from martingale to anti-martingale if you do it like this. Now you're going to pick a master stop of your own choosing. Outside of this, you're just going to use pure Fibonacci levels to enter. I think this is out of the box. I think this is what MetaTrader gives you, is the Tony Plummer Fibonacci expansion. So if you move your last ticket to capture the stop hunt here, then you definitely hit your target. So the ratio, so the market's telling you time to buy pullbacks. So if you commit to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tickets, you're going to buy the 100 all the way to the 0. But you're going to anti-martingale near the end, because this, if you say I'm going to buy this part to, you know, there's a stop here at the 100. Okay. You're like, dude, there's a stop down here. And I'm going to buy this whole vacuum, this slot that I marked off. It's a 100 pip window. So you've marked this off. And this is your cluster of tickets. Imagine that. So you exquisitely buy here. And maybe you've got another bank because you're kind of rich. You're going to start buying your next rack below that. So now you got, what is it, 12K racked. And your master stop, you have to pick that. I guess put a 100 pip stop on that whole rack. So you're buying, you've either got a stop, a soft stop down here. So if you're wrong about this, but as that's dropping, imagine you come in and you say, well, Jesus, I've got a linear grid in here. So you have the Fibonacci grid, and you got a linear dumbass grid where you're just buying every 20 pips just because. Every 20 pips. Same thing could be said for the sell side. You take your Fibonacci tool. You're going to sell a 6K in every handle. And you're going to pick your master stop of your choosing, or you can have a soft stop. That's going to take a little more work, but well, actually, not really. So I try to make some drops like this, but a double click would be very difficult to nail this window. So you're probably going to have to create good ratios here and drop them. So all Fibonacci is telling you is that if you load the wagon on the compressions with it, and then you're going to put a 6K in with this one, Fibonacci. And I'm just using it because it's the ratio expansion that everybody's after. It's not there's nothing magical about it predicting the future. It's just that it has such greedy ratios on some of the things on that. So that's certainly what people are into about it. Like down here, say you were to, like, I'm going to get in down here because this is the last 100 pip. If you're trading 100 pip windows with Fibonacci expansions, here you're going to be disappointed that you didn't hold on for this, right? But this is based on this fill. If you could afford to buy this 200 pip crush, yes, you could make yourself 800 pips. That's true. There's no magical thing about Fibonacci giving you this projection of like, oh, I'm just going to hang my hat here and like the market's coming up here. That's completely the wrong use of the tool, I must say, for me. That doesn't make any sense at all. The predictiveness of Fibonacci is completely fantasy. You could say here, okay, we got to take the pullback. Look, it hit my target. Okay, it hit all these targets, right? It hit all these targets. You hung your hat here. Look, it pulled back. Or you're going to say right now, look, where are you going to hang your hat off the data? Down here? It cracks me up. Even if you tried to cherry pick this, how are you doing it? So I'm saying it's the ratio that's making you money. If you buy on the 100 in a 20 pip window, your first ticket fills at the 100. You're buying a 40 pip window. You've got to stop down here, right? End of the world stop. That's the 4-hour chart. You got all week long to see this wick is going to be your first ticket, your lost leader. You're going to take your Fibonacci tool or your Robinacci tool if you got one of those. Definitely go for that. But it's about the ratio. So if you're buying a 20 pip ratio, you should be able to make 60 pips, right? You're out of that trade. Boom. The trade's over. So of course you want to get in here. Compression, good ratios, 4-to-1. Off the bottom, it's a little bit better than 4-to-1. Or you set up the linear grid's already there, so this is supposed to be the magical. But it's all about the ratio, because if you decide you're going to be a swing trader, then you're going to commit to a 100 pip window, right? You always buy and sell 100 pip windows. So what was your trade plan up here? If you committed to selling this window, well, it's going to cost you 40 pips. And when the market comes slamming back, you're going to say, look at this Fibonacci. It's fucking amazing. It called out this bottom here. I mean, surely, right? I mean, as you drag this around, and if you got all your fills here, then you need to make this, this needs to be 8, right? 8, 16, on and on, right? So you want that 16-to-1 ratio. What does it look like? Well, it looks like getting in here on this 20 pip window and putting your Fibonacci ratio at 8 or 6 or whatever you want it to be, because you hit that, right? So I suppose the smart money is buying this lonely wick with good and bad ratios. The scalps are built into the say this is the scalp. If your first ticket starts here, right? If your first ticket is the 100-yard line and you got a big rack in tight wrapped into a 10 pip window, it looks like this. So you're out of that trade, right? If you buy a 6K just on the wick tip, by the time market comes slamming back up here, you're out of that trade. So if you're committing to this window with your pack of tickets, you're going to buy everything to here, and you have a hard stop, just a math stop. A lot of tight stops running, so they could stop you out. Maybe you got soft stops all in here. Then if that's the case, you probably want to put another, you want to tighten this stop up and make it more of a master stop, and then have another rack that's a little bit more swingish. That doesn't, maybe this won't get filled. Please stop with the bells and whistles there, please. Okay. So these are different ratios you're going to have running. Okay. Let me get this off the screen. So this is a broader, and you have to change the color of this one probably to keep your tickets straight. This gets out of hand real fast. So we want to get the different color scheme going here. So this is going to be fatter too. I got to make these fatter too. Now these would be the swing trades overlapping on top of the scalps built into that entry window. And so here maybe you only filled the top ticket of that, right? So imagine you're prepared to do this trade on top of that one. And this one, the exits are way up here, but that would be the trade that you would do here, right? If you're going to buy the big ticket, so you have the scalp here, you have this big ticket rack. The difference is, if you buy this whole thing, and here, if you're continually buying pullbacks, and you've got this idea that, well, if it takes this out, it's the end of the world, and I get stopped down here. But of course, the problem there is that's the place to buy too. Also, so if you had a buy plan of this one here, you're gonna run this guy. This would be your scalp plan. Down here it would have made money. It would have made money. This little thing, but see, that trade works out there, whereas this trade needs to, and then you have a broader. So you're planning all these things, and if you could afford to buy this window, which is pretty deep, then your targets are going to be up in Disneyland there. It'll go Dodger blue. So the guy that's buying this plunge based on, well, I got a master stop down here. Everybody agrees this is like seriously, I don't know where to put that. Right now, tonight I'm buying on the plunge. And I'm going to put some dead cat bounce scalps in here. That's the dollar yen. Looks like the dollar's going to get crushed here into this. So I'm just setting up a bunch of 4-hour tickets and just throwing them in there. Same thing with the euro versus the pound. I'm just going to buy when it comes back to the starting gate, and I'm going to sell the euro dollar if it goes up tonight. So I just mark off the places I'm going to put the tickets in. This labelless grid with there's no label on the grid on the right side allows you to drop the tickets and see all the tickets you dropped, because it doesn't cover up the problem with the labeled, and some of these brokers are set up like that, is that it also, another thing I'm doing is I'm only running certain currencies on certain brokers now. So I'm gonna be running 10 demos from different brokers, and when I go to the next instrument, it'll be on that broker. That way I can keep it separated, as they say. There's a song about keeping it separated. I think it's a big... And the thing is this way we keep track of the trades that are designed for that one particular situation. So actually I took one broker and dedicated that broker to just the British pound, where the other one, like this one here, I have 3 different currencies because I get a 2-pip spread here and I get a 2-pip spread here. And this one gives me a 3, but I want to trade the yen because it's such a painfully obvious, stupid-ass trade. If you were short from Friday on the dailies, if you go to the daily time frame, let's see. So we have to constantly change this up. Here, look at the dailies. Now, if you got some deep pockets here, based on the trade plans I just described with this Fibonacci tool, you can see how you just get destroyed. This is the daily chart. So imagine this is going to be your swing trade now. Why it's so hard to make money trading Fibonacci in this manner, just for using it to scale into a trade, is because the market is so brutally dynamic that you'd have to have fucking 300 pip targets with 150 pip stops. Not to say, and that's just going to be double your money. But this pullback here, like you said, you're going to buy everything this month, and somebody did, right? Somebody bought everything this month for 300 pips. So the guy that got destroyed here, why none of this works if you can't see the super deep vacuums that are going to be the most premium price. And if you had to wait for them to, this is the deepest price, because this is not as deep. So that when we smash down here, not that that's not a bad trade, because if you filled every ticket on your fib, you never saw your 4, you never saw your greedy target, but you got out at your 618. So there's another winning argument for Fibonacci, is that you bought the 100, you bought all the way down, you bought to the down to here, right? So you got filled a little bit, like you missed out on that last 20 pip handle, and you got a big stop down here, and you're like, okay, I'll risk, I'll buy this big slot, and I'll risk about 60 pips to make almost a 2618. That's all depending. And if you had another rack layered on top that bought deeper, so now you're going to martingale in with Fibonacci, you're going to come in here like this and buy a 20 pack, a 20 pip window, and you're going to load pretty hard on that. That's going to be tight stop about here. And let's make this a different color so it jumps out a little bit. So here's your stop on this rack. And you ride that one out to the 4 and you make the ratio that you want. So on the sell side, using that logic, you're not going to make too much money. This one you wish you would have had ratios that were just mind-blowing, right? Because for you to make, right, you have to start selling into this vacuum here. For you to make that kind of money, for your stops to make sense, because nobody I know is going to sell here to make that ratio. In other words, they sold 2 tickets here. If they sold 1 ticket at the top and wrote it to the 4 for whatever reason, let's say they sold here and their stop is at 0. So they use the fib tool to get in at 3.6, and they're going to tell me, well, here's what I did. I used Fibonacci. I mean, it's laughable, right? This is a 20 pip window to make the very edge entry. Your stop is here at 0. You pick the top tick Tommy, and you got out at the... There's people that are doing courses like that, I'm sure, in Fibonacci. You know it, right? They must be. Somebody out there. Well, nobody's here. Not a lot of traders. There's nobody to interact with tonight. I guess people are asleep. People are just in shock, right? You can't blame them. It's not easy out there, people. It's not easy out there. It's tough sailing. Somebody commenting. Pretend we know nothing about technical analysis. We want to range trade stocks. Please be so kind to explain to us the most simple and concise way possible. Explain it to a 10-year what? A 10-year-old? How would you increase the odds? A 10-year-old. Okay, 10-year-olds. Sarah Johnson. Wow, look at this. So, I just reading a comment. Knowing when to enter and exit trade in order to maximize profits as much as possible to help you. Okay, so your help would mean the world to me, because these pandemic years have been extremely traumatic and tragic for me. So lost numerous loved ones, really. Jesus. I threw myself head first into learning about when to enter, exit trades. So, wow, really? Damn, is this a real person? Okay, so maybe you're just trolling me. It's alright. Okay, 10-year-old Sarah Johnson. Sarah Johnson sent me a selfie. I'm just kidding. No, not that bad. I'm not that bad off yet. I don't know. I'm ready to jump ship. So, okay, a 10-year-old in stocks. Let's get a stock up. I got to break out my stocks. So some of these brokers do have stocks in here. Let me see. Let's go to Cedar. Cedar FX has got stocks, I think. Let's see here. I got a Cedar FX, and I had to open up the symbol list. 10-year-olds. So I guess you're going to have to refer to the stream. Sarah says a secret stream. She probably won't watch the stream, but let me see if I can get right on that because the markets are going to open tomorrow. I know these things trade 24/7. The stocks. Oh Jesus! Here, show all. This will be a brain teaser. You need to trade stocks, huh? Okay, which one? Facebook. How about GE? Oh, which one's the volatile one? Here, look at this. Something cheap. What do you trade when you trade stocks? Cisco. Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. Let's see, Cisco, Dashcoin. Wait, maybe I'm looking eBay. Let's take a look at eBay stock. Let's see if I got a template for it. Looks like not. Oh, this looks good enough. What's this? Shit. How to get in and out of the trade. Okay, how long do you want to be in the trade, right? How long do you want to be in these trades? Okay, this looks like 50 cent here. All right, let's delete that. Let's put a dollar grid on. So how long you can be in this trade again? Okay, that's a buck. All right. Okay, so how long do you think you're going to be in this trade? This is a dollar grid. Why do you want to trade stocks? I guess my question is, do you want to make money? I don't know. So how much can you risk $100 a week? To make $100 a week? Jeez, I don't know anything about stocks. I can't help you. This looks like fucking paint drying to me. You got leverage? What's the leverage on stocks here? Let me see what my grid looks like. That's 100 pips. Maybe these swing trades I just wrote working here. Okay, here's a way you could, I guess, scalp it. I don't know. The market's not even open. Are they going to let me drop a ticket? Probably not. Okay, that's a problem. I don't think the market's open, to be honest with you. Here, let me try this. No. So, yeah, I can't help you on the stocks, but you ever thought about trading forex? Just trade forex, Jesus Christ. Let go of the stock dream. That's my first help I can give you. I can't do stocks, dude. My head's exploding over fucking crypto right now. I can't do it. Like I traded NASDAQ. I'm disorientated. I got a NASDAQ trade running in the background. You ever thought about trading NASDAQ? Here, go trade NASDAQ with $50 stops. 50 to make 50. You should be able to make a nice sum of money trading the NASDAQ, or go trade the Dow Jones. I think the Dow Jones, I'd go to Hugo and I would trade the Dow Jones. I think you're getting 100-1 leverage there, or 50-1 or 100-1 leverage, or go to a place that has 100-1 leverage. So if your brain is stuck on stocks, this happens to people. You know, they're stuck on NASDAQ, or they're stuck on minis, E-minis, ES mini. And they should be stuck on that because if you know the trade windows, if you know the risk per minute, per hour, per day, What do you think your risk tolerance is? I have $50 a week. I think people, that's $200 a month. Where would you put yourself in the risk window? I wonder. Well, so unfortunately, I would say learn how to trade the, forget eBay. Just trade the Australian dollar, buy the Canadian dollar here, sell the Australian dollar up here. I'm selling New Zealand dollar up here. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to put some big giant canvas orders in because I just don't care. So this will be the account that I'm trying to blow up, right? So I have accounts for different reasons. One account pays for my Spotify. One account pays for my this is the proper way to trade. You take an account, you take a broker, you pick one or two instruments, one or I'm going to go three max, because we can tile this and we can trade vertically. I believe all price is vertical. I think that reality agrees with me that boys are girls and girls are boys. And sure, there's hermaphrodites. I think they call them hermaphrodites. There are people like stuck in purgatory limbo. And there's people that don't want to be. I understand why people don't want to be stuck with their original format. I think the emojis and the avatars have allowed people to step outside and assume certain personas that they couldn't normally do. And it's like everybody gets to be, instead of famous for 15 minutes, everybody gets to be somebody for 15 minutes. Somebody famous is too much to ask, so just be somebody. I think that's from The Jerk in the restaurant when Steve Martin says, "I'm somebody. I'm somebody." It's really a heartbreaker film there, especially after he went to all that effort to design that amazing glasses. That if you slip down your nose, you always pop them back up. What a brilliant idea. What a man. The man on the Silver Mountain. Oh, jeez, I lost my feed. Got lost in that. Lost in looking at that. Okay, don't everybody show up at once. That's okay. I'd rather stream than record the disc. I did a video though, and I didn't post it. I did a look back. So I'll send that to Sarah. I'll link that to Sarah's question. And all I can say is give up the dream of being a stock trader, please. So the pandemic thing, I must say, that trade small, trade often. Just get used to trading. I think these are great setups tonight. I put in 8-hour tickets. I put in some 12 hours. I canvassed super deep on Australia. I got $10,000 in the account. I'm at $400 so far. The account opened with 10 grand. I usually try to pick $2,000 accounts or $1,000 account. I can only trade one instrument on a $1,000 account. I'd say if you have a $10,000 account, probably can get away with 3 currencies like this, which are complete I'd say for the most part, they're mirror images. As the Canadian dollar drops, we should see Australian dollar go up into my supply zones or my demand zones, what have you. At least we're going to go into the vacuum where I perceive there's going to be a shootout. And I've got some I think if I'm sticking to the 8-hour time frames, I'm going to wait until, let's see, I dropped these about 6 o'clock. I have to look at the analog clock to tell you what time it is. These should expire around the time Europe opens, about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I did a back test based on using sessions indicator to block off the 2 o'clock in the morning. So we start painting a blue box at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Then 4 hours later, 6 o'clock in the morning, we start painting a box that is like yellowish. And then we have a very vibrant box that comes in at 1 p.m. and tracks from 1, because the other box stops at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. So we got 3 more hours. At 1 p.m. I'm going to start tracking. I just want to do the close actually. So the last 2 hours of trading, maybe 3 o'clock, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. If you just mark that off with this iSessions indicator, then you can see the closing prices. It's kind of fascinating. When you play back the market on the 1-hour chart or any time frame, you see from close to close, what was it, a bullish day, bearish day, and then you see all the shenanigans, all the price manipulation up and down, very hard sometimes. It's a very fascinating exercise to look at just closing prices using a sessions tools, sessions indicators, and isolate that. I'd be surprised what that looks like. Now we're just waiting for the crush. I'm underwater a little bit. I'm up a little bit on New Zealand dollar as we sell into it here tonight on my triple currency pair with 10 grand in the account. Pretty much impossible to blow up the account, although we could take a hit. I'm up $400 overall since we've been trading. Let's look at my stats here. It's my journal. Where's my performance? Come on, man. I'm just trading. Like, gosh, what the hell's the account history? I thought there was a. I do have to do the history thing here. Make a report or something like that. Oh, jeez. All history. Save as a report. Save as detailed report. Wow, okay. If I publish it to the interwebs there. So about to get filled here. On the Canadian dollar, we're up 75 cents here. We're just killing it on this. So this broker has no commissions. So this is Cedar FX, where you plant trees. If you want to pay commissions, you can plant a tree for every trade. Sustainable forex. Hey, I'm up 75 cents for real. All right. Pretty quiet tonight, isn't it? It's Japan's got a bank holiday tonight too, so we could see some serious price action in the dollar yen because nobody's holding the other side of the trade there. Hey, I'm up $1.37. Should I get out? I'm kind of nervous about this trade. New Zealand's pulling back. It's 8:30. Let's go to the half-hour charts. top tick Tommy on the half hour. Let's zoom out and go to the half hour charts. Get the half hour rhythm going here. Using the rhythm method. Bottom tick Bobby on the CAD. So I'm winning. It's almost a mirror image between these. These are supposedly the commodity pairs. That's what they tell me. So they say. Boom. Been going up for a half hour. We just updated the half hour charts. Looks like it's going to keep going up. So I'm going to cash out everything that's up. Take all my winners off the table. There you go. Winning trade. How about them apples?